Hello everyone, my name is Pixlriffs and welcome back to Decidedly Vanilla. Great to have you guys back, and I want to start off this episode for a start by showing you something new. This is the slime farm, which was put together by Awooga and KB, and this place looks amazing. I haven't really been here on camera. I've been here a little bit off camera, getting some slime blocks, getting some slime, and the Place You AFK is back here behind the portal, so we probably won't see any slimes popping up here, but they have a triple slime chunk in here, beautifully decorated. Love the lime green concrete and all of the stuff they put in the walls. I really like these kind of stripes as well. Oh, did I hear a slime? Did we get a slime? Is one actually going to make an appearance? I didn't think I was far enough away for one to spawn, but apparently I am. So, anyway, maybe we'll see a slime pop down here. They die on magma blocks, and all of the drops go into the hoppers. It's pretty standard stuff. You guys have seen this before, but I just thought I would show it off on camera because I haven't really been here, and I want to be able to go around and show some more stuff that other folks have built on the server, rather than just showing you guys my jungle and stuff all the time. I've also been AFKing here to get slime for a project, a couple of projects, actually, one of which we're going to briefly touch on the way back through, and the other one is going to be over at the jungle, and it's going to be the focus of today's episode. So, there he is. There he is. Oh, we got two of them. We got a big one, and we got a medium-sized one. Nice one. This thing actually outputs really well. I'm pretty happy with it. I've been AFKing a little bit here, and there's even a window where you can go up here and make it a little bit faster for these guys, get rid of the ones who occasionally get stuck over here on the glass, and occasionally get to loot slime for ever so slightly more. So we're going to grab the stuff that we've just gotten here, and we're going to make our way back over to the jungle via Seahaven, because I want to be able to show you guys some stuff that I've been working on over there. And I also want to start off this episode by thanking you guys so much for the support you've been showing for this series and for my channel in general. We reached 25,000 subscribers this weekend, which is insane. I had never imagined that we would ever get this far. As a channel, as a community, I just want to thank you guys for participating in this. It's so much fun to be making videos for you guys. I cannot overstate enough how important you guys are to me as a community, as an audience, as friends, and I'm really excited to see where the channel can go from here. Anyway, I'm going to get rid of this slime here because he is probably going to drop a fair few slime balls for us, and then we're going to get on with the rest of the episode, and I get to show you off-camera project number 1. Which isn't exactly an off-camera project yet. It's more of just I've put together a palette for a set of builds that I want to be doing off-camera, or perhaps on-camera with other folks on the server, but I'm not necessarily going to make like the main focus of an episode. So, a while back, you guys may remember that I made this skull to go around KB's nether portal, and we kind of decorated it to look like a little bit all cobbly and ruiny and prehistoric and that kind of thing, and I really like this style. I've come to really appreciate this style, and I want to do more of it around here, basically. So I've been growing acacia trees to get a few things together for this block palette that I put together, the acacia wood and leaves, and for most people they aren't going to be able to see the acacia leaf difference if they're just using the default texture pack, but I like having the extra textures in here, as I've mentioned in basically every episode since I started using them, and so I wanted to use those just for a little bit of variation. It's not really going to look much different to anyone else. Maybe some jungle leaves could go in here for a bit of variation, but I want to turn this whole area into a kind of boneyard, a kind of, if you think like the elephant graveyard from The Lion King, then you're not too far off. That's kind of what we're going for. There'll be kind of skulls and bones sticking up all over the place, and it'll have this kind of rubbly, quarry, sort of prehistoric feel around here, because nobody else is really doing anything with the terrain around Seahaven right now, and I thought it would help the portal up here fit in, the bone bridge over here fit in, and would kind of draw the eye over to this part of Seahaven if people were exploring around the place. That's the idea anyway, and KB obviously has left a couple of like AFK fish farms, and I think that's a chicken auto cooker, stuff like that around here. So yeah, I like to prettify the area a little bit, do a little bit of landscaping. Nashcrafter's house is right over there, but I don't think she's necessarily going to be in the sight line of this, so she can keep that concealed behind the hill if she wants to, or she can come and pitch in and help. I did kind of try and get in touch with her recently about a collab, because she had some stuff she mentioned in one of her recent videos that really kind of struck a chord with me, I guess. She was talking about how a lot of the time in Minecraft, people tend towards these kind of like Tudor, medieval, rustic styles of building, and how she wants to get away from that. And I saw a post on the Minecraft Reddit recently where people were asking, you know, what is the expected style of building for Minecraft? And it did always turn out to be this kind of like Tudor style where everything's kind of wood and stone and that kind of thing. And the reason for that primarily, and the reason some of the builders on this server, I mean, people like Kane always tend to build stuff that's more kind of modern looking and stuff like that. And modern is another good style to get away from that kind of medieval looking stuff. It's just so easy to obtain those types of blocks in survival scenarios, and I feel like a lot of people who play Minecraft are just survival builders. You know, that's what they're good at, and so they've got a lot of blocks to choose from that are easily obtainable, things like cobblestone, just regular old wood, your smooth stone, even that kind of stuff. So it's interesting to get away from that, and that's kind of what I want to prompt people to do with this little boneyard building project over there, is to think outside the box a little bit, move away from the style that we've all done, the kind of stone, brick, and wood, and all of the stone kind of grey and brown textures that we expect from Minecraft building, and branch out into something a little bit new. So I'm thinking maybe I'll start a couple of projects like this and encourage people to join in, kind of set up block palettes for people to use and see what they come up with as we go. And it'd be really interesting to see those projects evolve over the lifetime of the server. But in the meantime, we're going to get on with the other thing I wanted to show you guys today, which is really off-camera project number 2. And that is this. The temple has been taking shape a little bit off camera, and I've made a few changes around here, a few improvements, which I think you guys will like, so I want to take you through some of it. For a start, the bounce pads that I'd installed in the last episode got moved out 1 block further away from the beacon, which still needs to go. The beacon is not going to be a central part of this temple in the end. I might even do something else with sandstone in here, just to kind of keep this pyramid sort of shape, maybe like a smaller temple within the temple kind of thing. But yeah, the beacon needs to go. It's not doing anyone any favors standing around like this. It is giving me haste 2, which I quite like to have when I'm taking out the floors and stuff, all of this smooth stone around here, but ultimately the beacon is going to be leaving us. But I designed this sort of wooden pad around here. It's almost like it's kind of the trunk of a tree that's been snapped off, but the bounce pads are a little bit closer to the walkways now, and I feel like that's a little bit more comfortable to get up and down from. You can just kind of hop down there and hold jump to, yeah, there you go, to get up to the next floor and come down. It's a lot simpler now, and it means you're not landing right on the edge of the platform every time. You'll also notice that Awuga and I went and raided an ocean monument, and I got myself a whole ton of dark prismarine, and that's going to be the foundation of the floors around here, topped off with this light grey stained glass. I think it looks really, really nice. We also got some wall designs in here, just some simple flat-ish designs, just 1 block wide with spruce stairs and stone brick, and that is because the rooms behind these walls are going to be full of chests. In particular, this area over here is more or less done. I still need to fill in a few chests here and there, but those are for the blocks that I'm not really using a great deal, like orange, and I have a ton of orange concrete in here. These are going to be blocks that are dyed in the various different colours, so obviously we've got red concrete and concrete powder, red terracotta, there's going to be red glass and stuff in here, red wool, probably just a row or 2 of the dyes themselves as well, just so we have a ready supply of that stuff when I'm able to stock up, and I've got just occasional bits and pieces of it here and there, so I've not kind of gone hard for getting the resources in place just yet, but the idea is that we're going to have a whole bunch of blocks in here that we can just pick up and do what we want with, and eventually, when we get some shulker boxes, we might find a way of getting quick storage for some of them so that we can just take a couple of shulker boxes with us and be on our way. I still like the idea of having some storage up here as well, just a few bits of stone and wood and the stuff that I want to be easily accessible. Right now, the sandstone and stuff is obviously going to be important for the continued building of this place, because this place is not yet done, and that's one of the things that I want to work on in this episode, is finishing off another tier of the temple. I decided that it needed one more bit, at least at the top, just to kind of level it out. I want to get up here and show you, because there's quite a substantial gap up here. It's pretty big. It seems like there should be something else up here, so we'll kind of parkour our way to the top of the temple. I always end up going up the vines on one of these jungle trees to get up to the top here, but yeah, we can hop our way up here, and this is the top level, and you'll see there's still quite a large space in here that we could bring in a little bit, and what I want to do with that is make some farms. I don't normally do redstone-powered farms. I don't go in for automation all that much, but for stuff like sugarcane, maybe the occasional crop farm here and there, I kind of want to have stuff growing up here, and it can look like another level of the Hanging Gardens because there can be water involved in it. There can still be kind of water streams and stuff, but I want to have it drop sugarcane and stuff down here into hoppers, and then the hoppers can go into chests that can be collected elsewhere, stuff like that. Just something to make this place a little bit more alive, give it a little bit more stuff going on up here, and just to add another layer to the Hanging Gardens vibe is basically what I want. So that's going to happen. The skeleton horse is over here, and I need to thank you guys for leaving all those comments suggesting names for this guy. I had a couple of really amusing ones, a couple of very funny puns and things like that, but in the end, we just went with Bob, because it's what he does. Look at him, he's like, Bob, 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 and yeah, he's adorable. Bob the skeleton horse, it sounded right, you know? I've still got a couple of those other skeleton horses around here, but Bob is the one we're going to keep, and he's probably going to stay in here for the foreseeable future. He's just a little bit too adorable to remove at this point. So, other things you may have noticed as I've been flicking around this place, showing you guys the cliff that I mentioned in the last episode, but one, is now a cliff. It's now an actual cliff, and I've kind of been working on terraforming little areas of this. Behind that, it's just a sheer drop. Like, it's not done or anything. It's not kind of blended into the terrain as I would have wanted it, but I think this is a pretty decent effort. It's not my favourite piece of terraforming I've ever done, but it certainly comes close. And using diorite like that, using that as part of the strata of the cliff, is probably, in my opinion, one of the best uses of decorative stone. Instead of having it like in patches, in caves like you find it, I would love to find cliffs out there that have this kind of strata of diorite in the rock, like in long lines, instead of having it just be big lumps in the middle of the stone. I think I got this from either a post on the Minecraft subreddit, or perhaps even looking at Biome Bundle, because I've been looking at Biome Bundle over the last few days for a very secret thing, which I cannot tell you guys about yet, but it's going to be another Minecraft series at some point, and it's going to be immense. You guys are going to love it. But yeah, somebody suggested putting waterfalls in here, and yeah, just building a giant waterfall somewhere. In the end, I opted for some smaller waterfalls, some smaller water features here and there, and I'll probably have a lake up here once I have this whole area kind of filled in, once the cliff is actually blended up from the scenery behind that into what it is now, and just have a lake there that can drain down into this one. Maybe a spring happens further out. But the thing about water is that it always obeys gravity in the real world, and having water just spring from nowhere in there and then just fall into this lake, or come up from the lake to somewhere else, or, you know, water doesn't flow uphill, so it'd be really strange to have it just kind of come up the cliff and then down the other side, you know? So I kind of want to work on making that a little bit more realistic. But as far as I'm concerned, this is the kind of thing I want to be doing around here. I want to be doing some interesting terraforming projects, interesting building projects like this, and then working on home comforts, basically stuff like the farms on top of here, which we're going to be getting on with for the rest of this episode. So I'm going to get to work on that. I don't know how much of it I'm going to be able to do off camera, because I don't really have a design picked out. I'm just going to work on some stuff myself, and redstone, and it's like building on camera. I can build, but building on camera is not exactly my forte, and I can't really redstone, so doing redstone on camera as well is just going to be a confusing nightmare for everybody involved. But I will be back with you guys when we have something a little bit more substantial built up here, and we'll be able to share that before we finish up the episode. Well, it's done. I can probably say that it's done. It's done to the point where I don't really want to do a great deal more to it, but this is possibly one of the silliest things I could ever have conceived in terms of its practicality, because you look at this, you can't put redstone just up in the air like this, is what I'm discovering. I've never really done a great deal of redstone. You guys know me, I'm more of a builder, but this is ridiculous. Most of the lossless sugarcane farm designs, you have to have like minecarts with hoppers going underneath here on a rail to collect all of the drops that land on the sand here, because as you'll see when this thing triggers, hoping it does trigger at some point, which is why I'm staring at all these faces that are staring back at me like they've seen too much. The thing triggers, and then this row of sugarcane here goes into the water stream. The top row of sugarcane does not. The top row of sugarcane lands on the sand and does not go anywhere. And even the water streams have caused me trouble, because I had them coming from the center and then going outwards, but then this block here meant that like everything was just getting trapped there, like it wasn't moving in one direction or the other. I had them coming from the corner and then just going across the entire thing, but then when you looked at it from the side like this, it was all uneven, and the aesthetic part of me was just going, no, that looks all wrong. And so what I've had to do is have streams going from each corner, from this side, from that side, meeting in the middle, and then it drops through basically the center of like the front part of my temple. And these parts here is where it lands. This kind of plus shape of hoppers here is where it's landing, and Yeah, I set this up basically because it's dropping from such a height that if I was to collect it at the floor level where the rest of my storage stuff is, I wanted to make sure that there wasn't too much variation in where it was going to drop. Like, is it going to drop directly on that square? Or is it going to drop on the left side, the right? Is it going to go around the outside? Is it going to miss that entirely? So do I have to set up 1 hopper or 9 hoppers or potentially like 25 hoppers just to make sure that the variation in its kind of drop area was not going to cause a problem? I'm going to trigger this just like to show you guys because it's taken too long for the sugarcane to grow. But look, we've already got 3 here which we've lost, and I'm not going to come up and collect these regularly. They're just a loss. I'm going to have to just deal with that unless I decide to completely bite the bullet and either put in minecarts in here, which I didn't want because of the noise for a start, but also because it's going to be a bit of a pain to have them suspended in the air like this. Either that or I just build the entire thing underground, which negates the point of having it like this in the first place. It's meant to be the crown of my temple, and I am going to decorate the rest of this. It's not going to look completely like this when it's done. But let's take a look in this. Okay, we've got nothing in that hopper, nothing in that hopper, nothing in that one. One has fallen into here, but the rest all seems to have ended up in the center. So we're okay for the most part. I'm not sure what will happen if we bring it a couple more blocks down, if the variation is going to increase. Something tells me at this stage it's probably not going to, but oh my days. They say never work with children or animals. Add redstone to that list for me. It's not gone that well. But then I think it still looks quite nice. Like if you take a look at it from the outside, it still looks pretty good, and we can do some interesting stuff with the inside of here. We can have stuff dangling down, maybe to guide the sugarcane down so it actually falls into this hopper. I don't know, guys. But I was just about ready to be done with this episode and have you guys witness my my ridiculous redstone fails. This is why I'm never doing redstone again, basically. But no, I am, of course. Like I even posted on Twitter like I shouldn't be doing redstone. Like, knock me around the head if I consider doing redstone again. And someone was like, well, that's not the attitude, is it? You know, you're never going to learn that way. So this is a learning experience for me, guys. Feel free to feel free to laugh at me in the comments all you like. I'm absolutely fine with that. But that's going to do it for today's episode. Thank you guys so much for watching Decidedly Vanilla. My name has been Pixlriffs. Leave a like on the episode if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you want to see more, and I will see you guys soon. Bye for now.